Have you ever had a piece of art just stick with you? Something you saw years ago and it still pops into your head and actually can help you make sense of the world or emotions or experiences you are going through? One of my favorite courses in college was art appreciation. And it sounds a bit simple, but it was profound. We learned to take time to really look at art, to understand the messages woven into the canvas, and to see the meaning that it can add to our own lives and to our own experiences, to help us understand concepts that may be more abstract, that can't be spoken or written down in any way, but can be conveyed through a master's brush. There is a painting by Domenico Ghirlandaio who was an Italian Renaissance artist, entitled An Old Man and His Grandsons. As I was thinking about what my next few videos would be, this painting kept coming to mind. This is an old man and his grandson, as I mentioned, by the Renaissance artist Domenico Ghirlandaio. And there are specific reasons I wanted to start with this. In a way, this painting is a key to understand where I'm coming from and the stories I'm about to share. I always have found it to be a breathtakingly beautiful piece, one that perfectly captures the human experience, the cyclical nature of life, and the importance of seeing our lives as a complex whole story, which can be conveyed to those we love around us. The first thing in this painting that drew my attention were the faces of the old man and the boy. Let's look closer. Ghirlandaio depicts the aged man looking down with incredible tenderness at his grandson. The grandfather's face tells a story of a long life. He has a receding hairline, warts, and most noticeably, evidence of rhinophrenia. This is a medical condition that causes a large bulbous nose with sometimes it's reddened. The grandson, however, as we look at his face, is young, blemish-free. He has a beautiful full head of golden hair, and his small hand is placed lovingly on his grandfather's chest. It's a moment of pure intimacy. The old man's expression isn't one of vanity or shame, but of pure, gentle love as he gazes at the child. And the boy, with complete admiration and trust, his face is positioned right over the old man's heart, a clear symbol of their deep affection. Now, each of these subjects of the painting are clothed in red. In Renaissance art and in other arts, red was often used to invoke intense emotional human emotions, especially love. It adds a visual intensity to the powerful, silent conversation happening between the old man and his grandchild. It's also very interesting to note the background. Behind the man, the background is simple, a muted gray and black. In art, gray often suggests contemplative, reflective state of mind. You can almost feel this old man looking into his grandson's eyes and reflecting on his own life. The entire journey that brought him to this very moment. And at the same time, he can see the journey his grandson is just beginning. Perhaps imagining that one day this boy will have similar connection with a grandchild of his own. Above the grandchild, there is a window with a landscape outside. We notice some interesting details because the real story continues outside the window. Ghirlandaio didn't just paint a simple backdrop. He painted a metaphor for life itself. We can see the landscape with a winding path, a river, a trees, church, and distant mountains. Something notable about this painting is as you look at the trees, many are paired with small saplings, a tall mature tree, again reinforcing that cyclical life that we find in nature. We can then look at the path. The path is key. We cannot see all of the complete path. It winds, it disappears, and we don't know its final destination. We only know that it takes the traveler over the rivers and hills and past the spiritual comfort of a small church, but always upwards toward that distant mountain peak. And that mountain, it's rough, hazy, and seems almost insurmountable. It's not even fully in frame. This landscape, in my interpretation, is life's journey. It's winding, it's uncertain. We don't know what lies around that next bend, behind that hill, or over that rise. The old man knows his grandchild has to walk this same road, not always knowing what's around that bend. He knows the boy will face obstacles, some placed on the path by others, and some placed on that path of his own making. But what will be constant is their love. That affection is the true companion for the journey. The old man isn't turning away in shame because of his appearance. He is lovingly protecting with his arm around his grandson and preparing the child for the road ahead. To me, great art speaks directly to the soul. It teaches lessons that can be hard to learn in any other way. And an old man and his grandson has done that for me, meaning different things at different times in my life. Lately, as a grandfather myself, I see my own grandchildren in this work. I see their beautiful faces, their energy, the unconditional love they show. Their eyes see beyond what we, the viewers, might see at first glance. They see past the weathered skin and the disfigured nose, and they see into the soul. They see a beauty that society may not recognize, which is true and profound. And that's the message I want to carry into my next few videos. I have stories to share from my life, and frankly, some of them are not beautiful. They're ugly. in general terms, they involve choices I made that weren't always good ones. But I'm not going to hide them. I'm not going to turn my face away in shame. Because just as the grandfather in the painting doesn't hide his face, and as the law of polarity teaches us, the dark is as needful as the light. So I hope when one of my stories shows my actions in a poor light, you'll see it as a lesson on how we all make mistakes and how we must move forward by overcoming them and becoming better. Just like that path in the painting, we can make it through the difficulty and the hardship as we walk on our own pathward towards higher spheres. Thank you for taking the time to look at this masterpiece with me today. It's a foundation for what's to come, and I'm glad I could share it with you. I hope it will invoke feelings in your heart as it did in mine. And I hope that the message I'm trying to make is clear. That life's journey is not always easy. That sometimes we make those poor choices. We make those difficulties of our own accord. And certainly I have done my share of that. If you want to follow along on this journey, please consider subscribing. What does this painting say to you? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I hope we enjoy this journey together. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. I love you.